But stay right there, Dan. Another big earnings release today is, in fact, Twitter. The company reporting just days after news that the board approved Elon Musk's bid for the company. Dan, a couple interesting areas here. First, U.S. monthly daily active users up 6.4% year over year. That was good. But I have a graphic here I want to pull up just looking at Twitter's debt. Overall, $5.2 billion in terms of debt. And that is a big problem here because keep in mind, Elon Musk is financing a large part of his deal via debt that will be plowed back onto the Twitter balance sheet. And the company's already highly leveraged. So this is, I think, a problem that is going to remain with Twitter in a big way moving forward.
Yeah, and I think it's also worth pointing out that if Tesla shares drop below a certain point, I think I can't remember the exact dollar amount, but he could run into problems financing it using his Tesla shares. But yeah, it was a decent quarter for Twitter. Just the fact that they added that many users, they came in at 229 million versus expectations of 226 million. So that's not bad. But again, we talk about Twitter, about how this outsized impact it has on society and our conversations in general culture. But it is still a relatively small company. It's nowhere near the size of TikTok, which is newer than Twitter. It's nowhere near the size of Facebook, which does every social network out there. So I think it's still important that we always point out that this is still a relatively small company when it comes down to it. It's about who's on the platform, not about who's not on the platform, though, too.
Right, which is why Musk has talked about it as the sort of town square, and so have others also. In addition to getting these earnings numbers and Twitter not surprisingly withdrawing its earnings guidance because it's not going to be a public company anymore, presumably for much longer if all goes well for Elon Musk. But Musk has kept on tweeting mostly various memes and jokes and his typical sort of trolly stuff about Twitter and the way it operates, which supposedly he's not supposed to do as per the acquisition agreement. But as usual, he kind of does what he wants, and consequences be damned. So there you go.
It's interesting, too, because he tweeted about how next he's going to buy Coca-Cola and, introduce cocaine back into it, which is like, this is supposed to be the guy that's taking over this company that wants to turn it into this free speech place. But it just, when he tweets things like that, it just seems like he wants it to be, this kind of platform where he can just be as immature as possible. So, yeah, I mean, it really is just, this strange, I guess, personality that he cultivates online versus the personality that he has in person, where he tries to be this really cerebral person who is very elegant when they speak, or at least tries to think before they speak.
Yeah, not much evidence of that when you look at the Twitter content, for sure. Thanks so much, Dan. Appreciate it.